Unfortunately, over time, your bathroom pop-up drain is going to wear out. But the good news is you could easily replace it yourself and save yourself a ton of money. My name is Dave Kleck, and I'm going to show you the steps to get the job done. Okay, so first we're going to have to take off the old pop-up drain. But to do that, we're going to have to take out the old trap first. Now it helps if you have a light to put underneath the sink so you can see what you're doing. And you're going to need a pail or a bucket to put underneath the trap, because when you take this off, water's going to come out. Now, if you have a plastic assembly, you can easily undo these nuts by hand, and you go counterclockwise and the nuts will come off. However, if you have a metal trap, you're going to need a pipe wrench to get these nuts off. And it's the same thing, counterclockwise. Take off the nuts. And the trap is off. Okay, for your next step, you're going to want to take off this nut that holds the pop-up drain to the sink. Now in this case, this nut is heavily corroded. But otherwise what you do is go counterclockwise again with your wrench and lower the nut as far as it will go down the threads. You're also going to want to take a pair of vice grips and attach it tightly to the pipe.
Now the pop-up drain should be able to rise from the bottom of the sink. The visible part of the pop-up drain is threaded in, so you'll have to spin it out. Now you could have a friend hold the bottom of the vice grips, or if you have long arms, you could hold them yourself. Now take a pair of channel locks, and while holding the vice grips underneath the sink, turn the channel locks to spin out the top of the pop-up drain. However, in this case, this is heavily corroded underneath and I couldn't get it to come out. So I'm going to have to use the hacksaw to cut the pop-up drain off.
In cases like these where your threads are frozen, hold your vice grips and cut the old pop-up drain above where the rod's coming out with your hacksaw.
Now with the old pop-up out, you could scrub and clean the opening.
Now that we've got the old part out, we're ready to put the new part in.
Next, we're going to take a little bit of plumber's putty and roll it into a coil. Then we're going to take our assembly, screw off the top, and press the coil on the underside. Then we'll place the top firmly into the top of the sink.
Now with the threads of the new pop-up assembly down all the way, we're going to insert it into the opening and screw it into the drain on top until it is tight. Now what we're going to do is take the nut here and spin it up until it is tight up against the sink. Now if it's a plastic assembly, you want to make sure you don't over-tighten it too much. Just tighten it until it's snug. You could always tighten it a little bit more later if it's leaking. Now you can remove the excess putty from around your drain, as well as the protective cover. And you could drop this new stopper in with this flange pointed towards the wall. While you're at it, take out the old rod and replace it with the new rod.
Take the ball joint rod and put it into the pop-up assembly. This end will hook up into the stopper. Take this nut and turn it clockwise until it is tight. Take one end of this clip and slip it onto the ball joint rod. Slip the strap onto the pull rod. Then put the ball joint rod through the second to fourth hole of the strap. Slide the other end of the clip onto the ball joint rod. Adjust the height by sliding the pull rod. When at the desired height, tighten this nut.
Okay, last thing that we're going to do is put the old trap back on. And to do that, we've got the nuts that were on the old pop-up assembly. We're going to slide those back on. And then if you have a metal trap, what you're going to want to do is take some Teflon tape and put 2 layers of tape around the threaded parts, here and here. Now if you have a plastic drain, you're not going to want to put any tape around that. So let's go ahead and do that. Then we're going to take our trap, slide it on, and tighten the nuts with the wrench. Check for leaks, and you are done. So there you have it. Just take one step at a time, and before you know it, you'll be done in no time. Thanks for watching.